Greetings and welcome back to the weekly news roundup. I hope everybody had a wonderful week and is ready for a more wonderful weekend. I hope that you are staying warm in this crazy cold weather. I mean, it's going to get down to like 38 or something where I am. Maybe even like 34. No, I think it's 38, which is still kind of cold. I mean, I had to turn on the heater this morning, and not because I had to. It was just slightly uncomfortable, you know. It was 12 C inside the van. That is cold enough to turn on the heater, right? Hopefully we have enough power to do that in the morning. I think we started at, what are we at? We're starting at 13.0 volts. Still a little bit low. This week coming into this week is coming in. It's going to be like the worst week of the year. And then every week after this, we start getting better and better and better because the sun starts slowly coming up on the horizon. So I'll have to try and remember to reset the count to see what my power rating is this week, assuming I have full sun, of course. We had a lot of clouds today, so I didn't get as much solar power coming in. I'll probably run the engine charger for a little bit tonight, and as I've been doing, I will not upload the edited down video until tomorrow afternoon, so that, you know, I don't want to run the power too low with this computer. I did look into the chapter issues. Apparently, if you have community strikes, because I'm an evil, horrible human being that talks to people about, you know, the evil K word and the evil H word, completely free, public domain, absolutely no illegal use software, and I keep getting community strikes for it. Because of that, the chapters are not working in the videos. Apparently, I've one more thing which I'm going to try today, not putting any other links before the chapters. I'm not confident that's going to solve the problem because active community strikes and all that kind of stuff. So if you're like, I really got to have those chapters, first and foremost, you can go on YouTube. You can go down into the description. All of the hot links work. You can read everything there and click the button there, and it's going to take you to the video. I just don't get the nice, beautiful little divisions and the cool chapter thing because YouTube is apparently evil and thinks that I'm breaking the law, which is you know, an actual violation of my character and, you know, possibly slander of my character. But who cares? We're not going to worry about it. If you absolutely really need to have those chapters and nice little divisions, go on over to Odyssey. They work just fine over there. I did confirm that. If you go check a look at the videos over on Odyssey, and they work great. Website progress is coming along wonderfully. I think I actually have all the content in that I want to launch with. I'm going to finalize the last little things, and I need to put a little bit of content up on the homepage. I built all the sliders today. And I decided I'm only going to port over one tinfoil hat time episode because we're going to add a few more of those going forward, so I'm not worried about that. If anybody out there is writing or interested in writing, I will be taking submissions to fill out the content on the website, so I'm not doing everything myself. I'm going to have to look at the numbers, but I will probably pay at least a small fee for the articles, software, distros, or desktop environments. Who knows? Maybe we can get into some consulting on tinfoil hat times as well. I'd be all right with that as well. But basically, I'm just going to hire in, you know, bring in some subs just to, you know, get some articles up on the website. That way I don't have to write them all. I can just take the role as the editor, and then you'll have a great article, and I'll just do a video on it. And, you know, that saves a lot of time for me as well, which I think is a great way to tap in the community as well. So those are the things that we are looking into. Our tea today is a Bigelow salted caramel. Despite it does have a wonderful flavor, I'm not sure I would completely recommend it because it tastes almost exactly like the French vanilla, and I'd never even crossed my mind to look at the back and see what the ingredients are. There is actually soy lecithin in my tea, so apparently I am a soy boy tonight. So by the end of the night, I'll probably be gay and dye my hair pink or something. But you know, we got black tea, natural flavors, soy lecithin, rose hips, and chicory root, which I don't taste chicory root, but it's not a bad flavor. I mean, I don't hate it. It's actually pretty tasty. But it tastes almost exactly like the French vanilla, and I don't remember if the French vanilla has soy lecithin. But to be perfectly honest, I never thought to look at the ingredients on the tea to wonder if they put chemicals in it. Oh, well, it is tasty tea. It is salted caramel. But needless to say, now I need to add that to my list of things to do in the store. I'm going to have to read the labels for my stupid tea now, because apparently they put soy boy crap inside my tea. And I did actually find a protein powder that was not completely chemical concoction. And oddly, it was the Walmart brand. I don't know how I feel about this, but I bought it because I was out of protein powder and I got sick of eating like the Jack and shakes, which were nasty. And these ones are more protein, and the flavor is actually pretty good. It has just the whey protein. It's sweetened with stevia, which I still don't want. I want to find another protein powder sweetened with fructose, but it's also supposed to be something I can pick up somewhere along the way. Because I'm the nearest town to me has an amazing blooming metropolis of 3,000 people. I was actually surprised that there's 2 grocery stores. I think there might be a third, and I checked the one grocery store. It had pretty much nothing. Walmart at least has like 10 different brands of protein. I think they had like 15. Half of them are plant-based. Plant-based protein powders are, they will not grow hair on your chest. They will grow, they'll grow like breasts on your body, because there's more estrogen in that crap than protein. I would avoid those ones. But I did not look at any of those, but all the other ones I looked at, they were just massive chemical concoctions. Splenda is the best. No aftertaste. No, Splenda is not particularly good one. Particularly like on the toxicologically, Splenda interferes and interacts with your body the least of almost all of them, but there can be some side effects with it, and it can interact with bacteria in odd ways, and it can cause a lot more problems, not because of absorption and metabolism issue, but because the gut bacteria interacts with it. And that's the biggest problem with Splenda. Yes, it does not have much of an aftertaste. However, Splenda, which is sucralose, is usually mixed with Ace K in nearly everything, which does have an aftertaste. And so things sweetened with sucralose tend to also have Ace K in with it, and so it still has a slight aftertaste. Yeah. That's that. We are streaming on 5 different platforms. switchedtolinux.com/live. Anytime we are live, we'll have those. We'll have all of the links on the currently active one. Jeffrey, apparently up there in the cold weather of Minnesota, has lost power and apparently had an impromptu 56 people huddled into a garage because they have heat in there without power. Of course, this is bad. You got to ban everything that's not electric, because we got to save the environment. And sorry, Minnesotans, you'll just freeze to death if the power goes out, and it will if everybody. Never mind. We can't get onto this without on the current ones. Anyway, propane tank. There you go. Hello, Commodore Fan. Hello, Silver Adventures. Minifang. Greetings. Moonbase Self Graze. Don't take me to your leader. We need to vote somebody else in office so I can confidently say, take me to your leader. Right now, if you take me to your leader, I'm just going to bust up laughing, or at least offer him an ice cream cone or something. Let's see. I'm home alone tonight. Family went Christmas shopping. Have to run around tomorrow and get to work office Christmas Friday. We'll have fun. It's going to get cold in South Carolina. When I was in South Carolina in March, it was like super warm until the last day, and it got to 20 degrees. 20 degrees in South Carolina. It was crazy. I used a quarter tank of diesel fuel keeping my my home warm, my home on wheels warm here. I had great success with updating Arch distro that hasn't gotten updates in 6 and 7 months. Yeah, I think today is the day. Like tomorrow is when my data resets, and I think I have enough data left, so I'm going to try and push updates tonight. If that doesn't work, I have had a successful test of the Raspberry Pi system because a friend of mine gifted me a Steam game, and it was like a 10 gigabyte download. I think I said 5 on Thursday. It's actually 10. And it's like, I can't download that much data right off. Now, does anybody know, once I download a game on Steam, how much bandwidth does it use to actually get on and play a game with somebody? Can somebody answer me in the comments there somewhere on one of the platforms? I'll get to all the comments here. Please let me know. I'm interested in that. But I went over to the local store, parked kind of close to one of the fast food restaurants, threw the Raspberry Pi in the back window, cranked that bad boy on, and borrowed their internet and turned on the VPN, fed the system back into my Wi-Fi network, and I was able to run the entire day without using any data for my plan. Everything I was running off of Subway's, I think of Subway's internet, and I think I was getting about 5 down. I downloaded about half of the game. I need to go run to town. I'm debating about running town tomorrow. If not, I'll run to town on Sunday, and I'll try and stay in town long enough to get the rest of the game there. See if it works. Anarita, greetings. How are you? Let's see. He's not around for the stream last night. Just wiped out from work. We did not stream last night. Through the month of December, we are doing our supporter streams on Wednesday, not on Thursday. Because the church in town here has their services on Thursday night instead of Wednesday night. So I just flip-flopped the schedules. Man, I'm tired, hungry. Wife is making dinner. Just got home from big grocery shopping, and you are sick of people. Well, join us, Anarita, as we make fun of the crazy world. Cannot hear me on Odyssey. Is that everybody cannot hear on Odyssey? Because if it's feeding through properly here and you can hear me here, check your speakers. Bill's Mafia fan here. I'll be at the game tomorrow, snow and cold. Looking forward to it. Going down in cold flames. There you go. Cook on Sunday for another party on Monday for my client's work party. All right. Always read the labels. Yep. Let's see, Connor fan. Well, I had to do it because I run my own daycare. Need to buy the kids food. Plus, for the wife and I had Christmas. That's right. Splendid's best. I have taste. Walmart has been stepping up a bit on store brand. I don't mind the Walmart brand products usually. They're not all that bad. I hear them just fine. Jacob Warner on Odyssey. Tails Orange, greetings. So what's happening? Not a whole lot. Tails Orange, how are you doing? Just buy the cheap brands. Unless the side effect for me is I lost a ton of weight and have a 6-pack now. There you go. Yeah, that's actually why I bought more protein powder. I found I was doing exercise with protein powder 3 days a week, and I went down, I think, 3 inches on my belt line. I'm not sure if that was all protein powder or if that was just, doing a good solid exercise stuff and walking 6 miles 6 days a week. I'm not sure exactly which one had the effect, but I felt great using the protein powder, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and stick with it for a little while longer. I'm just looking for a little bit more. Good evening, Anthony. Hello, Dakota Rustler. Greetings. 20 degrees Celsius. Well, it was 12 Celsius in the van this morning. No, I think it was 15. 14. I think it's 14. Let's sweeten things either with stevia or honey. Let's see. Christmas gifts, always gift cards to people. There you go. Just popping in. Greetings, Ashton. You've not missed anything yet. Varies by game. So it's hard to say how much bandwidth you'll need. All right. Depends on the game. All right. The game is Borderlands 2, if that helps. Multiplayer games using about 50 megabytes per hour. That's not too bad. 50 megabytes per hour is not too bad. 500? 500 megabytes per hour? That's bad. I can't do that, probably. But we'll see. Need to update the Steam game once it's finished downloading, then run Steam application offline, play the game offline. Well, no, we got it, so it's a game we can play together. So I want to do that. Okay. Other people are saying, everyone's saying that Steam, let's see, I tried exercise protein shakes along with changed diet, but I end up doing was farting like crazy. There you go. Let's move on over to Odyssey comments. We got 19 currently watching on Odyssey, 17 over there on YouTube's. I should have switched to doing streams over here on Odyssey a while ago. Greetings, Moonbase Self-Gray over there. It's so sad people do not like you switch to Linux. Told you this would happen. I know, right? That's fine. I'm not trying to please everyone. Let's see, power's still on in Minnesota, in this Minnesota town. Sure, the bandwidth depends on the game you are playing. Audio's working fine over here. Odyssey's fine. All those YouTube traders, yep. Alternatives, I made the account when Tom got striked on YouTube. Yep, that's right. Hello, Dan Kelly's over there on Rumble. We have 7 views. It's not telling me how many are actually watching on Rumble. It still tells me the live stream begins. Let me Let me reboot Rumble here. It was the
YouTube traders.
was playing. Okay, 16 watching on Rumble. So we actually are 30%, about 30% YouTube, about 30% Odyssey, about 30% Rumble. That's very good. Let's see. Dan Kelly, hello. Purple Tiger, hello over there. TGIF weekly news roundup. That's right. T is for magic potions only. There you go. 4.8 pounds of whey on Amazon, now 84. I don't know how much mine container is. It's supposed to be 18 servings. I'm probably going to split it into 30 because I don't think I need the full 30 grams. I'm going to go with 20 grams. Rumble streaming is a go. Very good. Yeah, it's actually working for me today, which is good. Over there on Twitch, we got one watching over on Twitch. Barely noticing. Is this your cats on your hats? Greetings, by the way. Is that your cats on your hat? No, it's the cats on my bed. Let's see. Rumble more like Crumble. Nobody over there on the Forgotten Stepchild. Nobody over there on Locals. We do have a Locals live chat set up, and it's open to anybody that has a Locals account. You do not actually have to be supporting on Locals. We are 15 minutes in. Let's go ahead and get started with the news. Should I get into the news faster in the future? I might want to do that. I don't know. Let's go ahead, though, and proceed on. What is my... Oh, okay. Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. Once again, in the month of December, we are putting all of them on one. Although, looking at all of our statistics, I very well might split it back into the two videos into the new year after my test is over. First and foremost, let's also talk about the chapters. After looking into it, I believe the problem with the chapters is because YouTube keeps community striking my videos about open source media players, even though I do not tell people to do anything bad with them, and I explicitly tell people not to do anything bad with them, and everything I do is perfectly legal and above board, but YouTube keeps on giving me community strikes. And so if you do really, really, really need chapters, they are working perfectly fine over on Odyssey, but here on YouTube, everything is set up for it. So you'll have to navigate down into the description, and I have all of the articles linked in with a timestamp. You can just click on the timestamp, but apparently YouTube changed their algorithm or their software, maybe about, 6 months, a year ago. And if you have any active strikes of any kind on your channel, they stop populating chapters allegedly. So, that's YouTube's problem. They might resolve themselves in January, I think, is when the next copyright or the community strike falls off, because I talked about that evil H-word application that Linux Mint packaged with their operating system. It was such a sin. They just, you're done for 2 weeks, fool. But that's all Tubi's fault. So again, if you want to make sure you keep on watching the show, we are streaming this on 5 different platforms. You can catch it there. And of course we are, also have the videos up, once they're edited and done. They also go up on BitChute as well. All of the social media and the video platform links are going to be launched on the new website, which I should be rolling out here at the end of December into the new year. It is almost done. I'm just doing tweaks to the homepage, and then we are going to be doing an open call if anybody wants to write some articles that we can use to update the content. We will be doing that, and we'll need to look at the budget about how much I can afford per article and how many articles I can make, but I may have article submissions open for the website. So you can reach out to me anywhere about that if you are interested. All right, enough of the 2-minute long introduction. That was crazy. Let's get on into the news. HHS Bulletin covers disclosure of personal health information collected online via tracking technologies falls under HIPAA. So in the United States, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services issued a bulletin. There's been a lot of discussion going on in the post-Roe world. I'm sorry, it's not people on the right who are the psychopaths looking to assault people over where they go. That would be projection, confession through projection. But nevertheless, anything that causes people to start looking at privacy options, I am all on board. So I am perfectly fine with this. And what happened is people started saying, well, all these different websites, we're having all of these trackers and health trackers and pixels and Facebook pixels and TikTok pixels and all this kind of stuff. And so Health and Human Services finally came out and said, look, if you're collecting actual real health data, you cannot have that stuff on here. Now, it does not include anything where you willingly put stuff in. So you sheeple out there with your where you choose to give Google all of your information, that's not really covered by this. So Google can collect all of the health information that they want on you because you are willingly giving it all the information. Now, if your doctor's like, well, you need to wear this so I can monitor what you're doing, show them your 2 favorite birdies and tell them no. Because I'm not interested in giving my health data to Google, and you better not either, or you're going to be finding somebody else to pay your Porsche payments. All right. That being said, though, things like apps, if it's a specific app that deals with a specific thing, it may be considered. But in most cases, what they say here, they're defining any of this collection: cookies, web beacons, pixels, session replay software. Not a lot of people talk about session replay. We've done a little bit of talking about it around here. Fingerprinting scripts that track and profile users' web activities, whether on web portals, behind an authentication wall, or an unauthenticated website or mobile apps, or in some cases disclose the collected personal data information for marketing purpose without HIPAA-compliant authorization. They said regulated entities are not permitted to use tracking technologies in a manner that would result in impermissible disclosures of protected health information to tracking technology vendors or any other violations of HIPAA rules. So if you are considered a HIPAA adjacent organization, you cannot run these things on anything that is collecting any personal information. So a front-end public website could have the trackers, but once you're logged in and you're interacting with the software about your specific conditions, you cannot have trackers back there. That's what the new rulings and opinions would happen to say. So whatever that is worth, of course, you should be running Privacy Badger, uBlock, all sorts of other stuff. Of course, we will have an update on Google Chrome. Will be blocking ad blockers and things like that in the future sections here. But moving on, onto our social media under siege. Indiana sues TikTok, describing it as a Chinese Trojan horse. Very good description. Wednesday, the state of Indiana filed 2 lawsuits against TikTok, the company behind the same name app, and its parent company, ByteDance. The first suit alleges TikTok's 12+ rating on the App Store and T for Teen in the Google Play Store and the Microsoft Store are misleading, as minors are reportedly exposed to inappropriate content generated on the app's algorithm. Now, we are going to be covering this in more detail in the business section, several articles ahead from here. You can go on down into the description and find the timestamp for that on the edited video. But it is dark where TikTok gets you to, and very quickly. And that is one of the things that are exciting here. We're just going to cover the lawsuit and the reasons here, and then we'll cover the actual circumstances. I believe it is the business section. I think it is. All right, so the second suit claims TikTok violated consumer protection laws by not disclosing that China has access to the sensitive user data. There's been some back and forth, of course. Everyone was all about TikTok's bad, TikTok's bad. And then TikTok and the federal government had a closed-door meeting with the Department of Justice, kind of resembling the same closed-door meetings we have on the Twitter files and that we know Zuckerberg talked about on the Joe Rogan show. Basically, the federal government has been meeting with all of these social media organizations, probably the tubies here as well, and to say, hey, this guy over here is bad stuff. We don't want to let this stuff on. Well, after that, a suddenly closed-door meeting, all of a sudden, TikTok was okay again with the government. I mean, shocking how that happened, I know, but, I mean, nothing to see. TikTok's perfectly safe. We went in, had a closed-door meeting, and now we are perfectly on tune. It was like, hey, we'll cut you in on all the data, right? Yeah, sounds great. All right, you're great. You're good. Awesome. Sounds good. You're collecting everyone's data, right? Everyone's data? Those kids, too? We'll have access? Oh, great. Awesome. Thank you. You're good. TikTok safe now, guys. We covered that in the weekly news roundup a few months ago when that happened. But ByteDance, that while they say on one hand that they do not have access to that information, it turns out that they do. And that was also covered in a recent article as well. And so basically the Chinese government through the company ByteDance has access to all even U.S. data information. This is what Orange Man Bad was complaining about and wanting to ban TikTok. And everyone's like, oh my God, you can't do that. Private company. And now they're talking about banning TikTok again. Several states for last week has just recently passed laws banning it on government devices. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about government regulations say you shouldn't be on this, but I'll tell you, any parent who lets your child on TikTok, you are a bad parent. Okay, I'm not going to say you should lose your kids, but you are a bad parent to get your children off of that nonsense. All right. But that's kind of what's going on there. And then we have, this one is another one filing it under this isn't like post-row, but this is the climate activists, a guide for climate activists to avoid social media monitoring. Again, I think these people are crazy. But that's their opinion, and this is my opinion, and I completely support your ability to talk your crazy nonsense. This is why I know guys like Kanye West who get there and profess to be like Christian guys. I certainly know they're not because they're allowed to talk. Okay? The guy's just a lunatic. But I support his right to speak. It's like Alex Jones. It's entertaining. I gotta see him have more nets and yahoos. Come on, man. It's entertaining. Don't ban this stuff. It's awesome. Well, I think these guys are crazy. I support anything which pushes people into thinking maybe we should consider privacy more. Because you know what? In a turnkey world, it doesn't matter if it's the total right-wing lunatics in charge or the total left-wing lunatics in charge. Neither one of the crazy lunatics can harm you that badly if they don't know who and where you are. And this is why we need to have privacy. And yes, there is still privacy on the internet. All right. Now, I found this to be very elementary, basic things, but they did it mostly to capture the eye of climate activists. Fun trivia, I actually worked for a company. It was actually a left-wing organization. It was kind of funny. You imagine me working for a left-wing organization with transgenders, and believe it or not, true story, when we had the transgender in the meeting, we're going back almost 5 years now, I was the only person that respected the they-thems. I was the only one. Go figure. I'm not sure if they-them is still there, but they-them there, whatever, you know? I'm going to say how nonsensical it is, and we're just going to decide on how nice and polite you are. This person was nice and polite, but I prefer they, them. Like, fine, I don't care because you're nice and polite about it. If you're like, yes, I them, I'm going to say, you got a wiener, you're a dude. All right. I don't care what Oxford just changed the dictionary to say. Yes, Oxford Dictionary this week did change the definition of a woman to include mentally ill people who have parts that they shouldn't have if they call themselves women. But I am moving into dark places really, really fast. Let's get back to the article. This was fairly elementary, and it basically just covered some basic things here. I do love their styling, though. These are kind of cool. I like this. I should have to look at doing this on some websites. But they get into the reasons why. They have examples from Australia, COP27. Some people the activists are being targeted. I don't know if they're being that targeted. Okay, it's not targeted if you're persecuted for dumping oil all over a famous painting and then foolishly gluing your hands to a wall, or if you glue yourself to the floor in a car room and then complain that they're not going to give you a bucket to poop into because you stuck yourself to the floor. Be a little bit prepared, Mr. Climate Activist. But that being said, it basically, the first part was just the logic, rationale. Why? They talk about restricting the amount of personal information you share online. This is awesome. You see, I came from the era, it's like, don't ever use your name online. Now it's like, if you don't have to use it, like Jordan Peterson the other day, like, I think that we need to have everybody needs to have their ID to get online. Screw you, you idiot. For a brilliant guy, you really are stupid about this one, aren't you? Am I offended everyone yet? Is there any crowd I've not offended yet? Please let me know in the comments and I'll get to it. All right. See, I'm an equal opportunity offender here. All right. Restricting the amount of personal information you share online. We used to don't ever put anything on the internet. That's you have to. All right. But they're saying keep all information out of the internet as much as you can. They talk about social media monitoring. We have an article on this later on as well, where people will get on there and actually deploy malware onto systems to find your social media platforms. Well, they're going to be less successful getting your information if your information is not there to be gotten. All right. So the way you interact with social media can expose a lot. This is kind of like usage fingerprints. If you always type the same way or the same type of thing, if you were to analyze a lot of my writing, you could figure out if it really was me or not through an anonymous form because of small changes in writings. Do you use common words? Do you use common phrases? And if you're using these across different platforms, even though you're not attaching your real name to it, you can be fingerprinted by that type of work. And AI can start identifying. So that's kind of what their good practices is getting at. Number of respondents to the survey share the steps they use. 78% will rely on multi-factor, two-factor. 62% say they review privacy settings on platforms. Yeah, review the privacy settings for sure. So using, let's see, following good measures are applicable across all platforms. Enable two-factor authentication. Now, this can de-anonymize you if you're using phones. It's safe if you're using YubiKeys because YubiKeys can't be tied back to you. But using two-factor authentication with a YubiKey, but if you're trying to do two-factor authentication with your cell phone number, that's problematic. Now, in the United States, you can still get a SIM card without providing identity information. That's not the same everywhere around the world, but it is certainly a step that you can take in order to do that. But enabling that, if you log into your account from other devices, make sure you log out every time. Also, you might want to consider deleting all of the cookies and history on the computer that they said. See, I'm helping you climate change guys out here. I'm giving you a little bit, I'm bumping up the knowledge here. The app you're using enables file sharing. Be vigilant before downloading anything sent to you. Yeah, I mean, download the documents, but don't open it until you're air-gapped is a good way to do. This is where Cubes is good because you can download it, move it to your disposable cube, open it in a disposable cube, and if it does something crazy, it's it fizzles, and you just kill the cube, and it's gone. Take some time to review the privacy settings. Enable settings to restrict people, allowing you to be tagged in photos without your consent. Avoid sharing more information than is possible. They do talk a lot about sharing information about children. I'm wondering what is going on. Or is this targeted to Greta Thunberg? We got to protect the 17-year-old crazy people running around who have no life experience, who do not realize it for the last 75 years. They've been telling us the planet's going to be over in 10 years. But impressionable teenagers are very susceptible to this, which is why more and more teenagers are being depressed over the fact that the planet's going to die in 10 years. Maybe we just need to stop talking about this stuff in school. Who knows? They talk about using end-to-end encryption here. Again, as you read through this, this is extraordinarily basic stuff for this channel. But I thought it was a useful article. They talk a little bit about VPNs. Using a VPN to hide your network traffic would be good. And then, of course, we need to be free to defend the environment. You need to be free to avoid the persecution from the tyrants, no matter if they're left-wing tyrants or right-wing tyrants. It doesn't really matter. Right now, unfortunately, we need to be free from the left-wing tyrants, although if the right wing gets in there, they'll probably be likely just as crazy. The end is coming, folks. The end is coming. Are you right with Jesus? All right. Meta warns about spyware being used to target people on social media. Isn't this funny? Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg, whose office is at one hacker way, is telling you to be warned about spyware targeting people on social media. Yeah, this is why I'm not on Meta, because Meta is the spyware that's targeting me on social media. Now, what they're actually getting into is bot accounts and Other forms of spyware that is specifically targeting individuals or specifically targeting, U.S. politicians or specifically targeting journalists or other people of specific interest. And Meta is dealing with, in many cases, they talked here about Avalanche was one of the ones in Russia, but they had a New York-based company called SocialLinks, probably shockingly having an address similar to New York Times. I don't know. That's made up. That's a joke. All right, which originally based in Russia. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Never mind. And CyberGlobes based in Israel. So United States, Russia, and Israel all have major bot farms on Facebook/Meta for the purpose of targeting people, and then they're using these in conjunction with some other things to spy on people and grab a lot of information. So, that's what's going on there. But I just found it really funny that Meta is talking about people are tracking you on Facebook and social media. Yeah, it's called Meta. You didn't know it's you, but look in the mirror. That's the guy doing it. All right. And on to our final article. This is from the EU, and this is looking at a potential future end to Meta's targeted ad model. So this has to do with some changes, or first and foremost, some rulings with GDPR in mostly in Ireland, I believe. And because of this, now it ripples over into several other nation states as well, as Ireland is sort of in a way a gatekeeper. A lot of your global national companies register their EU-based businesses in Ireland because it makes it easier to share all of the data with the rest of the EU nations, whereas it's not as easy if you're in any of the other countries. This is why you find Ireland at the center of a lot of global national GDPR complaints. But with this, they basically indicated the European Data Protection Board has approved 3 decision procedures following 3 complaints made against Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp concerning their use of targeted ads. Like many other American giants, Meta's European subsidiary is established in Ireland, and its lead supervisory authority is the Irish Data Protection Commission. However, Meta's data processing activities affects all EU member states and therefore other European data protection authorities, and EDPR also have a say on decisions under GDPR's consistency mechanism. Under them, which has not yet been communicated, Meta will have to stop relying on terms of service as a justification for using targeted ads on its platform. The decisions may be appealed, which means Meta is likely to have several more years to continue with the approach, while at the same time develop alternative ad displaying models. If the decisions are upheld by the Irish courts, many users are likely to opt out of targeted ads, which accounts for a sizable part of Meta's business. So basically, they're trying to say that Meta relies so heavily on the targeted ads, and if they can no longer target the ads, their effectiveness of their marketing arm decreases, and that means it has a lower value, and they start making a little bit less money, and Mark Zuckerberg might have to give up a yacht or two. I don't know. Or at least a city block or two. I don't know how many yachts he has, but he has bought up every city block he can get his hands on around his house so that nobody can get even close to his networks. Go figure. But this is going to lay a blow. Not only, of course, Meta is involved in this, but it's going to involve everybody as well. And then they talk about the implications around the world. United States, many privacy laws in the States are being based on GDPR, which I think for the most part, GDPR is actually really good. I have issues with GDPR specifically just around the cookie consent crap. It's like, we need to do away with this stupid cookie consent pop-ups on every site under the stinking sun, because I got news for you guys. You have control over the cookies. Let's stop doing that. So with that being said, that is what they are up to. Well, if you want to help support the channel, we do have a shop, shop.switchedtolinux.com. You can get some alien gear, some Switch to Linux stuff. I got the hoodies, I got the t-shirts, I got the hats, the mouse pads, like my mouse pad there. So we got a lot of cool stuff over here on the store. You can shop around over there, shop.switchedtolinux.com. Well, guys, let's move on over to security next. And first up in security, we have a little bit more details on the Sequoia breach. We talked about this last week. This is that huge company that handles HR for several different companies. So they were breached, and as a result, it turns out that a lot of data leaked. Benefit information, social security numbers, government-issued IDs, kufi data such as the jabby status was all leaked. If it's you, it's any dependents on you, it's anybody related to you. This is why these big conglomerate companies are no good. We need to go back to your HR being inside the business. We need to stop outsourcing this kind of stuff because there's way too much data. It's like LastPass. LastPass is a constant target for hacking and breaches because if you get into LastPass, you have just struck gold. Okay, why try and hack some, little obscure account when you can just hack into LastPass, get that, and get tons of passwords for tons of things? You understand that if they're successful getting the master passwords out of there, anyone using that service is simply screwed. You're done. And the same thing is going on here. There's just too much information stored in all these companies. We need to stop relying on this kind of stuff. All right. Next up is a new attack method that can steal data that is in air-gapped PCs through walls. Hilariously, they have called this the COVID bit. Because you're grabbing the data off the socially distanced computers. Yeah, this should have been in Sillyville. All right. So I'll call it Koofy bit here. So you keep the computer air gapped off of the internet. You're like, this is the best way to do it. So no way to get in there. Well, they figured it out. Now, it does require a first step of actually compromising the computer first. So you have to at least at some point in time gain physical access to the machine to put the piece of malware on it. What the malware is going to do is it messes with the processor speed, which will change the electromagnetic waves because it's going to draw more or less power. Now, I see this phenomena here in the van with my inverter, because my inverter, if my battery is right on the edge of above the 13.3 peak and below the 13.3 volt peak, then my green light is still on, but it'll kind of be flashing. Well, if I start processing a video, the processor takes more power, it drops out, and then it's done processing and it drops back up. Because the inverter itself is responding to the battery based on the amount of power being drawn out of it. And when you can cycle up and down the processor like that, you can get appreciable amounts of power differences. And what happens is the malware up to 6 to 10 feet away through the air-gapped wall can pick up on those changes and grab data based on the amount of data being up and down. And so it's able to actually grab it. They explain that switching the components inside creates a square wave of electromagnetic radiation at specific frequencies. They switch on and off during AC-DC conversion because, of course, if you're powering it with AC and then DC kicks in, there's a little bit of conversion there. That's what they're looking at. Now, they did say it works the least from laptops because laptops have better power management built in. And they actually found Raspberry Pis, they could not do it super well because Raspberry Pis were too low. You can still do it, but you got to get really, really close to the computer, almost too close to do it from, you won't have a socially distanced computer at that point in time. So it'll be a little suspicious if a guy comes in, sets a little device next to you. So what you working on? What's that thing? Never mind. What you working on? Do it. Let me see, a little obvious. But Raspberry Pis don't work as well. Laptops don't work as well, but, main computers with, full-fledged power supplies without power management software, they work the best. Moral of the story, if you can put power management software on your plug-in computers, that might actually resolve the problem, but who knows? All right. It's another day. There's another WordPress breach. This one is dubbed Go Trim. This is a botnet. There's actually was one of these a few years ago too. This is a botnet brute forcing WordPress websites. Now, the last time I saw these, they were brute forcing based on common admin accounts. So they'd ping admin, they'd ping the URL. They'd ping the URL plus admin. And then they try and get in by doing a series of brute force attacks. So the best defense for WordPress for a while is make sure that your administrative credential is, your username is something that doesn't have the word admin or anything involving your URL in it. So making sure that you have some weird and unique admin was the best way around it, because these botnets can ping multiple different times. No real word about the exact way it gets in other than, like everything else, vulnerable plugins, outdated themes, and stuff like that. But basically, it would get in here, it would install the system onto a target web server, which would create the botnet, and then the botnet would continue to go back and forth between the website or not. So this is why I'm moving off of WordPress on as many of my projects as I can. WordPress is just becoming too problematic. It can be done right, but hey, they stopped listening to the people who develop them, so screw WordPress. I'm done with you. All right, and here's another one. With every website in the world turning to SVG images to have better images online, the hackers got in there and started doing the HTML smuggling to smuggle JavaScript into embedded SVG images. And once your browser downloads it, it says, hey, there's an image. And if there happens to be JavaScript inside that SVG image, it will arbitrarily execute the code. And then what this does is it actually will go online, grab small bits of the malware and reassemble it on your device and then execute it. So just be careful which websites you're going to, I guess. So HTML smuggling, relying on the fact that you can embed JavaScript into SVG images. The attacker comes in here. The start of this happens to be mostly with phishing sites. You're probably not going to land on the infected sites out of the box, but get in here. Here's the fish. Hook is set. He got me. You finally got me. Every time I get these phishing emails, I always love looking at them. Like, I love it when they're like, your Apple account is about to expire. Let's hover over this. Oh yeah, I'm sure that Apple is sending me a link to .xyz. Yeah, looks legit to me. All right. But if you execute the code, it's going to go on, execute the image, run the JavaScript. The JavaScript is going to sideload some files, attach it together, and boom, y'all just got crabs from your website. Yikes. And on to our final story. The FBI's vetted information sharing network, Infragard, is hacked. Kind of about as funny as that the fire that broke out in was it California or was it New York? It's one of those crazy out of control states, and out of nowhere a fire broke out that happened to burn down the evidence locker. So all of those people, well, gotta cut these guys loose. All the evidence of their crime just got burnt up. So Infragard is run by the FBI to build cyber and physical threat information sharing partnerships with private sector. This week saw its database of contact information of 80,000 members go up for sale on the English language cybercrime forum. Meanwhile, the hackers responsible are communicating directly with members through the Infragard portal online using a new account under the assumed identity of a financial industry CEO that was vetted by the FBI itself. Great. So I guess all of the stuff they're using for all their private contacts, all their data information, data sharing stuff, it's all gone now. That's going to be fun. So they acknowledged their $50,000 asking price for Infragard database, maybe a tad high given that it's fairly basic list of people who are already very security conscious. Only about half of the user accounts contain email addresses, and most other database files are completely empty. See, the FBI, guys, knows how to do security. Take some advantage from the FBI. Don't give people your social security numbers. Don't give people your birth dates. Don't give people your email addresses. I mean, this database leaks out, but it's mostly empty. So this is, we got to learn from this. We got to learn from this. That's kind of the stuff. Well, if you would like to help support the channel, we do now have a locals account. You can head on over to switchedtolinux.locals.com. Howdy, Braxels over there right now on the live chat that's going on right now. But you can head on over there. You help support the channel over there. And they do actually do one-time donations as well for anybody interested in that. Well, guys, we're going to head on over to business news next. All right, but first, we're going to go back and have a look at some comments. I'm going to do Odyssey first because comments actually disappear on Odyssey after a little bit. Call them whatever stupid words they demand. You can call those bleepies control how we speak. Yep. Yeah, I don't have a pop filter in the van. I did adjust some things so we don't go quite as high and as low. Should be a little bit better for the people complaining that I go really loud and really quiet, really loud and really quiet. I had my gain up really high. I turned my gain way down, turned my volume up a little higher. Sorry about that. I fixed it. What a load of cow patongies. Climate cucks targeted Australia. Absolutely BS. They're the ones targeting everyone that doesn't go against their agenda. Yeah. I mean, these guys are like, I'm telling you guys, this is like next level Inception degrees of stupid. To quote Pam Popper, this is a level of stupidity I don't even know how to deal with. They're all like, we got to worry about being targeted. Y'all are the ones targeting everyone. I'm telling you. Hey, the Van Podcast has its Charmaine. If it was perfect, it'd be authentic. There you go. Kids made so many statements, like to see them face to face. There you go. Whoever's removing people's comments here, you know, guys like Get a Spine. I don't know if anyone's removing comments, but after a certain period of time, they disappear, at least from my end. That's kind of why I'm doing these ones first. Sad states we have fallen into. Just chill. Everyone here, calm down the room. Yeah. We chill out, guys. So Meta's admitting their platform spyware. Yeah. Your taxes paid for Facebook Meta. I know, right? I should get a tax credit for not using it. We should have a new law. You get tax credits for not using this nonsense. Meta spying on you. Please stop your taunting. All right. Yeah, let's chill out, guys. Can I set moderators over here? Can I set ban hammers? Let's see. Can I set moderators? I can. Aha. My resident alien is now a moderator. Beware the banhammers. The mouse pad sales are really good. Yeah, the this one's like I think 4 years old. It's starting to wear out a little bit. It is actually getting a little bit old. So it is wearing out. But I do actually have newer mouse pads on there. I mean, you could always do this one. So that's another good mouse pad we have over on the store. That one, I keep this one in my laptop case if I can get the mouse pad back in there in one spot. Close enough. I'll fix it the rest of the way later. All right. Anyone else use MeWe? I used to be on MeWe, but they still only have like a few thousand people and they want to start charging for business pages. Like, there's not enough people over here to justify business pages. Their OSS program, is there a better OSS program? I've been using Joomla a lot lately. So that one there still is good. It's not as user-friendly for development, but once the site is developed, I think it's actually easier to use. The big difference is that Joomla, you have a lot more control. They have a lot more things built into it that you don't need plugins for. Like, who would have thought two-factor authentication, SSL integration? That's still not core in WordPress. You still have to do plugins for that stuff on WordPress. And then, of course, WordPress is pushing its nonsense block editor. And that's the reason why a lot of people are leaving WordPress. Okay. Tax credits for not using Facebook or other Zuck services will be easy money for me. I know, right? That's the thing, right? New York City was where the data repository burned down. Yep. Indeed, indeed. One over there, over on DLive. Greetings, DLiver. All right, let's see. Done with that. Sleep and hibernate. Uh-oh. Where'd I go? Where'd I go? Oh, boy. It's going to be another late night. Don't use Linux Mint at the moment. Sorry, can't help you with that. Uh-oh, what's the question? Done that. Sleep and hibernate is disabled. I don't know. I guess there was a Linux Mint question I missed. Played any of the Borderlands games myself. If you play Knots Crosses, you won't use much bandwidth. All right, let's see. Not a huge fan of Rumble's interface. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either. Hopefully it gets better. Now I have a pet pig in the house. One of the litter of 9. Only one survived. My mom named him Snickers. You should name him Bacon. Come on, man. Watching on all 3, but I have sound turned off on 2. YouTube is the loudest. Seems to be ahead of the other 2. Is it? Does YouTube push volume louder? Wife just gave me an ad to our finance spreadsheet, and let's say, thank God I was sitting down. I know, right? Yikes. Okay. See you later, Tails Orange. Hear that? Even turning down the street, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar for a few things makes the wallet scream days. Yeah, I think I just spent like $18 at Dollar General yesterday. Picture quality is better on Odyssey. I'm watching on that. I'm commenting on YouTube because I do not have an Odyssey account. There you go. I wish my town had a full Dollar Tree of one of the half hybrid stores, half Dollar Tree, half Family Dollar, just not as good. Huh. I think the town where I'm at has one of those. I should have to go check it out. Broke clock is right every once in a while. It's just right twice a day, depending. I mean, it depends. If it's a broke digital clock, it's never right. If it's a broke analog clock, it's right twice a day. Unless it's a military time clock, in which case it's right once a day. Okay, let's see. Dollar Trees are based on Family Dollars, thanks to inflation. Well, Dollar Tree and Family Dollar are actually owned by the same company. They merged. $2.16 for a U.S. gallon here at Walmart for the basic stuff. Is that gas? $2.16? What? I'm going to have to go up there. However, security key is preferred, but if you don't feel like buying it via an auth program is probably fine. There you go. These incoming people, not essential things. Yeah, Keep reminds me of a job interview I had recently in a management position. They offered me $12 an hour. I said, no thanks, yeah. Yeah, I did some contracting on one of the tutoring websites when they were first launching. They wanted to pay me $1 over minimum wage with a PhD. Wait. You want me to work as a chemistry tutor for $1 over minimum wage? Yeah, right. Stick with old-fashioned JPEG ping, GIF formats. I mean, to be fair, you can embed stuff in those too. That was actually one of the early ways of spreading bad stuff on the internet, was embedding it inside of those. And then you can reverse engineer it with a crypto hash. Do plugins leave holes in WordPress? Plugins are the #1 way malware gets into WordPress. WordPress core itself is generally secure. It's the commercially available themes through like Envato and plugins is where you get most of your WordPress malware from. Just waiting for XFCE 418 Wayland's good thing. Bit bloated. Let's see. All right, let's jump on over to busyness news, and then we got busyness, and then we got some Sillyville, and then we got band. Who's excited for band news? All right. First up in business news, there is a delay of the Manifest v3 Chrome extension. and of course a delay in the depreciation of V2. This is the new change in how plugins work, which is going to basically cripple every one of your ad blockers for Chrome and Chrome-based web browsers. Isn't that exciting? All once, one day, Google's just going to kill all of your ability to block ads. This has to do with how the APIs communicate. They're basically going to prevent your extension from using any off-site resources. And that does make it a little bit more secure, but it comes at a huge depreciation of anything that requires to go out and check anything like uBlock, for example, is going to be checking on a block list that is currently updated. Otherwise, uBlock would simply stop working after periods of time, and that until you actually manually force it to update. Of course, over here, I'm looking at this 9 to 5 Google article, and uBlock Origin is blocking 51 ad trackers and Privacy Badger blocking 21. So 9 to 5 Google is not a place to go if you're not running ad blockers. Like 72 different connections they're blocking. All right, but basically they're rolling this out. They were going to start depreciating this in 2013. Right now they push it out to 2024 under review. So it's going to be a few more years. Who knows? Maybe they'll push it off long enough that Jesus will return before they depreciate the ad blockers. But I think it's going to cause a lot of issues when they do, and I think we might actually see an increase in like Firefox and other browsers, unless, of course, Firefox has lost its nards enough that I think it has. It's probably just going to follow suit like, Google did it! This must be a great thing! And since Firefox has castrated itself from the wills and whims of the free and open source people, they'll just chop off their nards and follow along and be like, we're going to depreciate ad blockers too! No. Transgender wolves running around. All right. Antivirus software can be hijacked to wipe your data. Up to 50% of virus tools, because of course the antivirus tools have the ability to get in here and delete the quarantine files. Well, new malware that hides itself from the antivirus hijacks the antivirus to wipe your entire system. And Windows Defender is susceptible. So you guys on Windows. So Microsoft Sentinel-1, Trend Micro, Avast, AVG can be exploited for their data deletion capabilities. Proof of concept document dubbed is it Akido, I think, or Yair works, or Yair, who works for cybersecurity firm SafeBreach, explained how the vulnerability works. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to drop a file into this folder here, temp Windows system drivers and index 6 sys, and then it's going to it's going to delete the postpone the deletion to the next reboot, and then it copies the temp directory into the C directory, forcing the system to reboot, and then the thing will boot up with basically an RFRM no preserve root on the whole Windows system. Of course, this is Windows, not Linux. But it basically says, yeah, we're going to delete itself, but then it runs a job, migrates the folder into your main root system, reboots the system, and on system startup, it wipes the hard drive. They'll work for Microsoft Defender, Defender for Endpoint, Sentinel-1, Trend Micro, Apex One, and Avast and AVG are some of those. Silence, CrowdStrike, McAfee, and Bitdefender are not susceptible to this. So if you like laughing at McDonald's, you're safe. If you like defending your bits, you're safe. If you strike at clouds, you're safe. And Cyclops lances apparently are also safe. All right, hey, that was on the spur of the fly. What do you know? This is probably a good thing, although all of the Apple people are really mad that they have to make this happen. But Apple is planning to support sideloading and third-party app stores by 2024. This is the one thing I've been calling for, to say this is something that needs to happen to wave off the... What in the world? I just noticed this on this picture. Look at this picture. Right in the middle, there's a giant LGBT flag in the middle of the infinity circle. Really? All right. To each his own, I guess. But in order to scathe off the claims of monopolistic ability, Apple needs to allow sideloading. I'm not saying it has to be easy. I'm just saying it has to be possible without hacking and breaching the system. Because it's my device. I just paid thousands of dollars for it. If I would like to make it insecure by putting some weird, shady app onto it, then that should be my own prerogative. Now, it's not going to be as free and open as Google does. Like, Google will like, hey, you want to install that malware? Great. Just turn the setting off and do it. Yeah, have fun, man. That's cool. I don't mind that at all because, I'm not a doofus who's going to sideload an app from some weird, shady website. Although I'm sure people will, especially if you're like, hey, this app solves all your problems. Ah, look at this. And some hacker has your phone. Basically, though, they are still going to do it kind of like having to have some form of verified by Apple, but you can sideload it, but it's got to be verified by Apple. That still is taking it the wrong direction. So it's not as free and open as it should be, but I think it's going to be a step in the right direction. Now all we need is for them to turn this on, and then a couple people are like, hey, I need to get into this device. Apple's not letting it. We need to let the suit push it forward one step further and allowing them to do that. But regardless, they are working on pushing the ability for Apple, iPhone to sideload apps and other app stores. So I'm okay with that. That's pretty good. All right. This one, we all know what I feel about the MIT Technology Review. This is like a puff piece talking about how amazing the cloud is and these financial services need to undergo digital transformation to start the digital economy and link us all to digital money that they can pull out from us at any given moment. But the whole thing, of course, this is in association with JP Morgan Chase. I mean, so this is like top article. This is top journalism. This is absolutely not fluff piece at all. And this is exactly what we need in our world. All right. But they basically are talking about we need to have better cloud services, cloud platforms tied into banks so that we can push on the world the simplification of digital currencies. Code for total communist dystopia. So don't see this and say, this is amazing. We need to, no, this is bad stuff. This is really, really bad stuff. But nevertheless, it's bad stuff that's going to happen. So, plant your gardens, just don't post about it on Facebook because Facebook calls you, an evil person if you do anything regarding like prepping or gardening or canning on Facebook. But JP Morgan Chase, MIT Technology Review, they're all talking about pushing the digital transformation by better cloud technologies. And the cloud is key for financial services to push the new digital economy upon us. I don't want to take part in your digital economy. Go into Demolition Man. I'm going to be part of that society that's living underground eating rat burgers. Okay. I mean, to be fair. Taco Bell rat burgers. I'll go with the rat burgers. Thank you. All right. Talked about this earlier in the show. TikTok, there is a TikTok study that indicates that self-harm reveals every parent's nightmare. Of course, this is on the heels of several children under the age of 14 who have died doing things like the Strangle Challenge. And like kids have literally been killing themselves following the challenges that TikTok is pushing. So a few people did a study. This is kind of like what I did with the Facebook study a while back where I got a phone and I didn't use it for anything, but I created a Facebook account, and then to test if Facebook was listening, I brought the phone out for specific types of conversations and then hit it again. And then I wanted to see if Facebook would promote things based on that. So literally what I did in that Facebook study is I got the phone and I logged into the Facebook, and then I scrolled through it, and then I look at the friend requests, and then I literally roll a die. Should I accept this friend request? Let's roll the dice. Boom. Yes. Roll the dice. Boom. No. Roll the dice. Boom. Yes. In 30 days, that Facebook account was full of nothing but porn and really bad people, with me doing nothing other than randomly accepting friend requests for a random account. I confirmed they didn't seem to be listening to the microphone, but it sent you in really bad places really, really fast. And so that's kind of what's happening here on TikTok. So Center for Countering Digital Hate, that sounds like an organization that needs to be disbanded. They found that video sharing platform sites will promote content including dangerously restrictive diets, pro-self-harm content, and content romanticizing to users who show a preference for the material, even if they are registered as under 18. For its study, the campaign group set up accounts in US, UK, Canada, and Australia. Registered at the ages of 13, the minimum age for joining the service. It created standard and vulnerable accounts, the latter containing the term lose weight in their usernames, which CCDH said reflected research showing that social media users who seek out eating disorder content often choose usernames containing such content. The accounts paused briefly on videos about body image, eating disorders, and mental health, and also liked them. This took place over a 30-minute initial period when the account launched in an attempt to capture the effectiveness of TikTok's algorithm that recommends content to users. On standard accounts, content about followed within 3 minutes, and eating disorder material is shown within 8. Okay, so they want you to get anorexia far before they'd like you to go off yourself in the corner closet. Great. The results are every parent's nightmare, they said. Young people's feeds are bombarded with harmful, harrowing content that have significant cumulative impact on their understanding of the world around them. And so you can kind of see what's going on here, but they, let's see, the recommended content is more extreme for vulnerable accounts, including methods of self-harm, young people discussing plans to CCDH said mental health or body image related videos were shown every 27 seconds, although the content was dominated by mental health videos, which CCDH defined as videos about anxieties, insecurities, mental health conditions, excluding eating disorders, self-harm, and the group said research did not differentiate between content with a positive intent, such as content discovering recovery, or the negative content, go find a corner and bleed out. So that is kind of what's going on. You can read the article. Of course, all these are linked in the description down below over on the website. You can find that. But yeah, this is really bad and really, really disturbing stuff. And this is where it goes. This is why if you're a parent, you need to make sure your children are not on this. But as a friend of mine reported me recently just buying a new phone, let me know in the comments if you have encountered this as well. My friend bought a new phone to replace one that the screen had died, and it was a Motorola, just got it, I don't know, a couple months ago. He said TikTok was pre-installed. He uninstalled TikTok, and it kept coming back. It kept coming back. That is dangerous. So let me know your thoughts about that in the comments down below. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, we do have affiliates. Today we're highlighting Linode. You can sign up with my affiliate account there, tlm.li/Linode to get $100 in credit, good for 60 days. You can spin up all the nodes you want. Try building a web server. Try building a media server. Just don't talk about it here on YouTube. We keep getting community strikes for that. Try building a VPN, all sorts of other fun stuff you can build out on Linode. Very easy to do. There is a fun marketplace with all sorts of stuff. tlm.li/Linode. Now, guys, let's head on over to Sillyville. This one was not tech related, but Razzle Review sent it to us, and I thought it was funny. I got a chuckle from it, so we're going to go ahead and chat about that one. A Florida man, of course it's Florida man. Florida man throws Christmas tree at his wife after being asked to help with dinner. So it went more than that. It wasn't just helping with dinner. She also threw a spoon in the sink because it was dirty and it splashed him. So he lost his temper. And of course, they always look like psychopaths. Why? Why do they always have to look like this? Why do they always have to look like this? But they do. I mean, so he throws the spoon, or she throws the spoon in the sink, asks to help with the dishes. He gets mad, goes to leave. And I think she blocks the way or something. He throws a Christmas tree at her, runs away, starts fleeing, gets arrested. He's going, he went off to jail willingly. He was a little drunk. Actually, I think he went out to leave, but he realized he was drunk, so he came back and told her to leave, but he wouldn't let her leave, and then he threw the Christmas tree at her. I think that's how it went down. So there you go, guys. Just be careful in this holiday season. Do not ask your husbands to wash the dishes because they might just throw the Christmas tree at you. That might only occur, though, if you are in Florida. But I don't know. I mean, I can see that being something that goes down in several other places as well. Well, on to the more tech silly news. Smart speakers help people living alone feel less lonely, the survey finds. This is a sad state of affairs. But yeah, apparently you can get the various smart speakers. Maybe they're, hey, Alexa, order unicorn meat, confirm. Maybe it's a home kit. Maybe it's, I don't know, what other ones are out there? Hey, Google, play Billy Ray Cyrus. I'm going to torture all you guys with these things. So anyway, the speakers, they basically gave speakers, they did 15 owners and 15 non-owners test out smart speakers. Some described their devices being like a companion, and they said they liked talking to it. Oh, God. The world is going to end. All of the people living alone. Trust me, despite living alone, I am not going to be starting to talk to a smart speaker. I'll just continue talking to myself in the corner and probably have a better conversation. Yeah. Well, on to our final story, though. Microsoft signed drivers containing malware. So this kind of started, of course, with some drivers. And, the drivers were vulnerable to some exploits. And so these guys figure out how to get the exploits in there. And then Windows, of course, finds out that there's exploits in there. And then the guys end up stealing some leaked drivers, I think from NVIDIA, I think it was. But those keys were canceled as soon as the breach had occurred. So they had to find another way in. So now they ended up basically creating malware for a driver, submitted it to Microsoft, and Microsoft says, hey, great, awesome, here's your signing key. So Microsoft officially signed the malware. Attackers have now managed to obtain signage from Microsoft's official Windows hardware developer program, which means the malware is inherently trusted by any Windows system. Threat actors are moving up the trust pyramid, attempting to use increasingly more well-trusted cryptographic keys to digitally sign their drivers, wrote Sophos. Researchers Andreas Kloppisch and Andrew Brandt in a blog post. Signage from a large trustworthy software publisher make it more likely the driver will load into Windows without hindrance, improving the chances that Cuba ransomware attackers can terminate the security processes protecting their targets' computers. Switch to Linux, folks. Switch to Linux. So, there you go. Good old drivers there. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, we do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/TOMM. You can jump in on over there, help support the channel, keep the lights on around here. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you guys next time. Alrighty, head on back to comments, and then guess what we got? We've got some band news next. We got some good news, too. All right. Let's see here. Rick, how's it going there? Manifest v3 also affects user scripts and custom CSS. Yes, it does. Are you talking about Mint? If so, yes, found Mint years ago. Fresh install. New version is generally faster overall. Yep. Hopefully Brave will work around that. Let's see. I wonder if ClamAV is affected. I don't know. That'd be a good question. But being that ClamAV doesn't deal with the Windows temp directories, I don't know. Who knows? It'd be hilarious if this allowed for the virus to delete the antivirus itself. I know, right? Yay! Even if I don't use the Apple device, this is progress. That's right. And always the person who thinks you can download more memory. Yep. Hello, switched Spin Viking. Greetings. Two local 7-Eleven gas retails had to close and move here because way too much vagrancy hanging out. Yeah. I have a cat. There's a fuzzy snake behind me. Ooh, yeah, what do you think, buddy? You want to read the next couple comments? I'm back. And Silver Adventures has Schroomburgers. Schroomburgers? What are those, man? Let's see. Whoa. Uh-oh. Kitty, let go of my headphones, Kitty. Let go of my headphones. Kitty's like, no, these are my headphones. I'm stealing your headphones. You want to hear? See? Here, Kitty? Woo! Here, Kitty. All right. Thank you. Chicken soup with toasted bread was very good. Awesome. You guys are sharing soup through the internet. Very cool. Same one with 1,000 toolbars. Took 20 minutes for their computers to boot up back in the early 2000s. I know, right? Yeah, back in the late 90s, computers took 20 minutes to boot up, and we didn't even have any of that malware on there. They were just that slow. All right, let's see. Data per gameplay. Well, I think it this way. Hotspots max you out. At 300 megabyte and 90% of hotspots will cancel you out should you play such programs with like Steam. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't have a hotspot per se. I have an IoT modem, so a little different. But what I kind of need to know is what is the general bandwidth. So I need to know if I can play or not and how much. Shout out my friends, free speech site Robot Streamer. Yes, go check out Robot Streamer, I guess. Let's see. You should have sent out a reading list, man. Who me? Well, they're for the articles, they're always on the website. Yeah, by the time I post the announcement for the upcoming stream, you can look in the description. A link to the website is there, and all the articles are on that link. So yeah, if you ever want to follow along with the news in advance, they are always up on the website prior to the show going live. Kids, my family cash instead of gift cards. Let's see, same with my folks. Put them in Linux. Never had to deal with them again. Yep. Love cash instead of items for Christmas simply because my interests change almost every month. Let's see. My oldest niece got a Nintendo Switch Lite earlier this year. There you go. I could talk to the cats. Yes, I can talk to the cats. I'm talking to the cats right now. Hey, kitty. Hi. You cute, huh? Yeah. He's like, yep. Let's see. If you're 17, 18, so old enough to earn money by getting a job. At 16 and started to work, so they can do the same. 17 and 18, yes. Yeah, if you're 17 or 18 and don't have a job yet, man, you need to go find a job. If you're drunk during Christmas and accidentally boot up Windows. I know, right? You're just going to wake up. You'll wake up, your computer screen's bleeping, no operating system found. You're like, kick over the bottles or like half naked or go, what happened? Yep. Okay. Android app can't open links. Let's see. Odyssey app is total shite. App is banned. Yeah, I don't know. I don't use apps. I don't know. Like a Luddite. Sorry for the rant. Young ones should have understanding. I don't know. I might have missed part of it because I lost every comment that's older than 17 minutes ago. Okay, let's see. Strung Out Santa, Meth Santa. Verizon must mess with default apps instead. I don't know. His phone wasn't Verizon. It was purchased from probably Best Buy or something. Because he uses Mint Mobile, so he's not getting phones from stores. I got him to not use phones at stores, and he's doesn't even have a Windows computer anymore. Okay, let's see. Had a dog once and a budgie, but never a cat. Can't stand them at all. Sorry, man. My kitty does not approve of your lack of cat choices. Ooh, lots going on over there on Rumble. Greetings, everybody on Rumble. Let's see. Help with installing Jellyfin on Linux Mint. The instructions from Jellyfin site don't work. I have not tried it, but I have a search up on my channel. Search up Jellyfin. I have a full install guide. See if that helps you out. Brave is still ad blocking. Keeping ad blockers. Firefox said will readdress dropping ad blockers in a year. Yikes. Let's see. Forget dumb speakers. Get friends instead. I know, right? That's right. Yes. Thank you for the link. It is up on the website as well. Yep. Anyone tried Garuda? If so, is it better than Manjaro? I played around with Garuda a little bit. It was all right. I mean, I can't say it was absolutely amazing, but it was all right. All right, guys. I think what we're going to do is we're going to feed this beast that's sitting on my lap, and then we are going to go on over for banned news. So head on over to switchedtolinux.com/live. Or follow the link in the description of this video. Find one of the other video platforms if you'd like to watch the banned videos. But we are going to feed the kitty cats. And then once we come back from feeding the kitty cats, then we will head on over to banned news. Hey, kitty, go up on the bed. Come on, kitties. Up here, kitties. Up here. Come on up. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Whoa. All right. Head on over to switchedtolinux.com/live or check the link in the description of this video. Find one of the other streaming platforms. And we're going to say goodbye to YouTube in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. YouTube is over. I own a gun.